Some graphics too.
I don't see us.
Because it's on a delay.
I don't see
It's
me.
on a delay, you dippy broad.
I don't see me.
I don't see. Precious.
I
don't see my beautiful face on the screen.
I see it now. I have no words. Now I have words. Ford is watching with us.
God help you, Ford. One of my old friends is watching. Went to Doobie Brothers and Steve Winwood at Madison Square Garden.
Ooh. You think Steven Tyler's really retired?
I don't know, man. It may be. I mean, that boy has worked his voice hard.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me. I mean, they might still do like the odd pop-up show, but hello, P.A. Ralph. Hello, Art of JoJo. Hello, Dennis 4x4. Hello, 423 Comics and Shipping. Nice to have you guys join us.
And we're just waiting for the load up a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm going to remind people to follow Krusty Bunker, the Krusty Bunker. They are doing incredible sales now. Highly recommend watching them. It's great because Nick is doing this thing where you just like say, okay, here's my budget, $100,
buy for me,
and here's my favorite character, go. And he will put together a package for you that's worth well over $100 if that's the number. Whatever number you throw at him, he's going to give you something of way more value than what you're going to pay for. And they're just amazing.
It's kind of like having a shopper for you.
Yeah, it's like having a personal shopper.
Hello, Hunter. So like I said, we're just waiting for people to load on. And we came on a little quick, even though we say 7:15. Somehow we never get on at 7:15.
No.
Yet today we got on at 7:17.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Nope.
That's closer to where we're supposed to.
Right. Well,
of course, if we weren't arguing about stupid crap before we got started, it might not be so bad.
All right. So the question is, how many do you have on Instagram, Zay?
I have a roving 4 right now.
Okay, because I have 9.
I mean, the number on Instagram really doesn't count because it come and go,
I know, it goes all over the place. So I have 9 on mine. Okay, so why don't we swing the cameras over to the back wall?
Oh my God, it's Chris.
It is Chris. Oh my God. So we did have the Green Lantern painting, which now that we're not on it, I'll talk about it because that's how I roll.
Well, I can turn that to. There you go. And I'll even zoom in.
That's how Chris works. That's why, thank God, I was employed by my dad. Okay.
Nobody else would take it.
So that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very large painting. This is the painting that we have done the giclée of, which I'm down to 1 giclée left. And we did not make that many. I think we made 10, if that. But this is the painting that lived at the bottom of our conference room table that I currently sit at. And it did go to New York Comic Con, and we decided to take it out of the box today and display it.
Oh, hey, Culture Vulture. We've never heard that one before. He said, hey, the Adams family. You forget that he did, isn't it?
I see. So this is a nice, large original. This is the original canvas painting. Neal had done a bunch of different Green Arrow, Green Lantern painting, probably more Green Lantern paintings than Green Arrow. And this one is a really nice Hal Jordan painting. It is an original. Unfortunately, Neal never signed it. So it does remain unsigned.
That we did forget to measure it before we came on.
Right. I would bet it's 2 feet by 2 feet. 2 feet
That's not square.
2, maybe 3 at the bottom.
2 by 3, maybe?
2 by 3, I bet.
Maybe. I think a little bit smaller because Maggie's 2x3.
No. We're gonna get a ruler while we're waiting for people to load on anyway. Look on my shelf. On the bookshelf, it's pink. You're looking for this way. Yeah. Warmer, or it's on my desk. It's pink.
I know it's pink. That's why it should be like glaringly obvious when you're speaking here.
No, that means somebody stole it.
Okay, keep yakking. I'll find something else in there.
All right.
This is an art studio after all. We should have a ruler around here somewhere.
So anyway, this is the original by Neal, which it's nice to see in really big, nice, colorful original by Neal. So this is measuring it.
All right, so it's about 2.5 feet by. Sorry, I'm gonna get in the way here.
3.
A little more than 3.
So we'll say it's 3 by 2.5.
It is one of those weird numbers.
Happy Tower says, I love the blue glove against all those warm colors. It's an amazing piece, and I will say the giclées, which like I said, I have one left, guys. The giclées are vibrant the same way this piece is vibrant.
We have a question from Matt's Collectibles. He says, hey guys, might have asked this already, but do you guys happen to have any Rocketeer books by Neal available?
No.
No, we ran out of those.
Well, we never had a lot of those to begin with, and I mean that came out a zillion years ago. So yeah.
It did.
And I don't.
And yet Jennifer looks exactly the same.
She does. Good for her. So again, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. I have no idea what they charge for this painting, but if you're interested, just direct message and we'll find out if anybody's interested in purchasing it. It is a gorgeous piece and probably one of the last paintings that Neal actually finished.
Yes, it was this and the head punch.
Yeah.
And the other one.
So anyway, okay, now we'll go to the back wall. And I won't talk about it anymore.
Inches.
Here I
Super
am.
bright.
So we took all the art down from Friday. We put a lot of the comic books that I was selling on Friday. Some of them are still available. Some of them we got sold out of. And we actually have some new ones. What's new? This one. So we've added this into it. I'll show these later. But we did add in this remark.
Ooh, it's a Batman head.
It's a Batman head. On one of Neal's 27 covers that he did.
Really?
Always. Always the phone has to ring when we do a show.
Bring that up for you guys. So that Batman head that you see in the lower left space next to Talia, that is a hand-drawn on the cover remark, and this book is going for $700.
It's a nice Batman on there. And it is the only one that I've actually seen on this 27 cover, so that's another thing.
Yes.
So, okay. So what did we sell out? We sold out of the Spider-Man, the 2 Spider-Man heads we had are sold out now.
Yes.
And that was from Friday afternoon. So we're now also doing a Friday show. It's a little earlier. Usually we go on at 5. I think 5 o'clock. And then it allows he and I to have a little bit of a longer weekend.
Yeah.
Which makes...
We've been missing out on our weekends.
Right, for a very long time.
Yes. Very, very long time.
So we decided to kind of join everybody on half-day Fridays and just start our show at 5 o'clock and go to 7 and get out like the rest of the world. So
What?
Wednesday night is our same spot, same usual time, doing the same type of thing that we have been doing from the beginning. And I am going to...
Actually, may I ask if you can move the pineapple over there?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. As much as I love the pineapple because it sparkles, it is distracting my focus.
It is. And we discovered today that we can get the big bombs back.
Woohoo!
They have reloaded big bombs at
bombs.
Amazon. So as of tomorrow, we have loaded up our bombings.
The return of the confetti cannons.
Exactly, because I don't know about you, but I miss them.
Now Christmas is shooting them at me.
Yes.
Let's phrase that correctly.
Well, we'll split them half and half. So
I'll
anyway,
just get the ones that don't work
does
for
anybody have any questions before I start and go through this stuff?
Do you want me to go over the rules?
Zia can go over the rules, how the rules get done.
Oh, Culture Vulture says, I shared in my last post, I finally framed up the Bucky print I bought. It looks amazing.
Nice.
And still waiting on some Bucky news. So are we.
So are we. Bucky is out there with somebody, and they're trying to make a deal, and we're pleasantly waiting to hear.
We are on the edge of our seats, and we check our messages like every flipping 5 minutes.
Right, and it's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to wait to see, is there anything? No.
And Frankie says, Neal's legacy goes on forever. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'm also going to ask everybody, please share with your comic book buddies because, a lot of people are going away on vacations or they're just, outside doing stuff. So for those that...
Or they've bought enough pieces of Neal Adams art, they don't have to buy anymore. Sometimes that happens too.
There is that. And some people just watch later. But the nice thing about that is that even if you watch this later on, if there is something that you see on our program, you can direct message us and say, hey, I saw that Wolverine piece with the claw bones and I think is really amazing. Can you tell me about it? And what's the price on it? Blah, 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 blah. And we can help you out, even when we're not on live. So please, if there's anything that you see that you just want to know about, contact us.
Right.
I will go really quickly over how to play our little game here. If you see something that you want, for example, there's a Batman Black and White CGC behind Chris. All you need to do is where everybody is making their comments, say claim Batman Black and White CGC. We will verbally acknowledge your claim. Then Chris will hit her Obnoxo button. And after we make a big rave deal about it, we will ask you to send us a direct message. I know on YouTube there is no direct message, so I'm going to real quick put up our website. On the website, you will find a Contact Us button. For Facebook and Instagram, you can direct message us your name, your PayPal email address, so we can send you an invoice for the things that you claim, and your mailing address. It is very important to have those three things in your direct message because that is where Chris goes for all of your information.
Yep. And it allows me to price your shipping a little bit better than just coming up with a number for you.
Correct. And also having your real name is important because, y'all come up with some crazy names.
Right. Except it's also good to put your crazy name with your real name because now what's happening is I get the real name, but I don't get the crazy name. And then I have to guess who that person is.
Yeah, y'all got to remember we're actually really blonde. So, and the other thing to know is when it comes to original artwork, we do have a payment plan, which is you put a third of the total down as a down payment. The rest you pay monthly. We do ask that it be monthly just to keep everything current, but the increment in which you pay is entirely up to you. So if you have a short month that you can only send $20, on a piece, that's fine. It just keeps everything current. And nothing gets forgotten.
And I don't have to find where you were 2 years ago.
Or more.
Which is becoming a little like, really, guys?
Yes, and people are not so nice sometimes. And I will hint to you guys, be nice to Chris when you send your direct messages. What else was I going to say? There is no penalties. If you miss a month, that's fine. Just try to make something each month. There is no interest. So the price that you purchase it at is the price that you pay. We do request that it be in a reasonable time frame.
Mm-hmm.
A $200 book taking 3 years to pay is a little silly. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And if you see anything while we're offline, you can still direct message us.
Okay, so Jamie Diaz wrote, "Hi guys, Mr. Adams did a commission of the Phantom a couple of years ago, and I love it. He is the king. Would have any drawings of the Phantom by Neal Adams for sale?" I don't think we have the Phantom. I would have to check. Jamie, if you're really, really interested in it, direct message me that you're looking for Phantom art, and then on my downtime, I can then go through some stuff and talk to Jason and talk to Joel in LA and see if they're aware of anything.
Yeah, because we do have drawers and drawers and drawers of various stuff. Right. That stuff does get mixed in with, so one never knows.
Right.
And also a reminder, if anybody has a black and white piece of art of Neal Adams that they bought years ago and go, hey, this would look really great in color, just send us a picture of it and we can give you a price quote on color. I have the Tiger says, is that Thor piece in the studio? I sent a message that I would like to acquire it.
The Thor piece, no, Jason's got the Thor piece. I don't have the Thor piece.
Okay.
Jason has the Thor piece.
Eye of El Tigre. He said he inquired about it. Did you direct message?
He has been direct messaging, and because originally he was looking for the Satana piece, and then he decided like the Thor piece. But unfortunately, I don't have the Thor piece. Jason has the Thor piece, and I don't know where Jason puts his pieces.
Okay, we will pounce on Jason when we're done here.
Right.
If he does not
what I
check
can do is on Friday, I can find out where the Thor piece is and show it on a live show on Friday if you'd like. So
okay, and hi Marilyn. I'm sorry I missed you there. Marilyn has joined us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. So, but yes, he's been direct messaging. We've been going back and forth with him.
Okay, well let me know if you want me to text Jason and tell him that.
Well, let's text Jason and see if he can answer, and then maybe we can go get it if he's around. So we're going to text Jason over that Thor piece for you. Okay, so we're going to start the show. We have prints, we have art tonight, and we have comics with remarks. Zia has some stuff back here tonight as well. So Zia's got some cool stuff going on back there.
I have El Tigre says, I would love that. I'm sure pictures don't do it justice. Generally, that is true.
Generally, that is true. Everybody who gets artwork is always amazing. Even when you see it on the live show, people say that the color is definitely more poppy, and that the piece is even better than you thought it was going to be. So everybody's always shocked when they get the original.
My color reaches off of the page and slaps you in the face. Look at me.
All right, Sam Green's going to be in and out tonight because he's on the road.
Oh, no. It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get our show moving because we've now spent a good 8 or 9 minutes letting people come on with us tonight. And I'm sure. And
once again, I'm going to ask share, please. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so we're going to talk while we're doing the show tonight. Oh my God. No, Chris, don't
talk. You're what?
All right, I'm going to start with some prints. I only have a limited amount of prints tonight.
Or is it the artist formerly known as Prince? The artwork formerly known as Prince.
I decided I'm going to start with Superman because I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a little excited for the Superman movie. And then I hope that they're doing a really great job, and I do have faith. I've become Neal Adams fan. One thing my dad was always positive about every movie that got made. And he never dogged a movie, even when after we saw it, he would never say anything bad about it. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to be very pro the Superman movie. And I hope that the guy does a good job.
And Ryan is asking if his Galactus print got out.
Your Galactus print has not gotten out because I'm actually out of the big cardboards that we ship in, Ryan. And those should be coming in tomorrow, and then I'll probably get it out on Monday. I've also held back a little bit because we've had a lot of big rains going on the East Coast here.
Torrential.
So I'm a little leery to ship out some of the stuff that actually has been going out the door.
In fact, I may actually buy Chris a dinghy.
So that's another reason why things have slowed down a little bit in shipping. Is weather conditions have not been great, and then I am waiting for the big boxes, and the prints go in the big boxes. So, and those will be in here tomorrow. So Galactus will be on his way, probably Monday.
Wouldn't it be fun if your commute was like jet skiing? I mean, it would suck in the winter, but in the summer,
I can just sail across the Hudson.
There you go.
To my house. Okay, so my first piece up here is a print. And this is 13 by 19 is the size of this Superman. And it is signed by Neal at the bottom in silver. This is a recreation in a way of the Superman cover that he did, where he has updated the piece, which Neal was very big in updating his art so that the newer generations would enjoy it the same way the older generations enjoyed it, except he's made it look more like today's comics. And that was always a place that Neal was. So where everybody hates all the new recoloring that was done, Neal did that recoloring for the newer generation to enjoy so that his work could move onward. And it seems to me right now, I saw that DC is releasing the Batman Omnibus again, and they're releasing, I believe it was the Dead Man Omnibus is coming back out, but they seem to be letting the retailers know that that's coming. So I don't think they've put orders in yet. I think that's fairly new information, but I would check if you guys are still looking to get a Batman Omnibus or a Dead Man Omnibus, that, you can talk to your retailers and get that secured for yourself. So I was actually very surprised because I thought once they did a run, that was kind of it. Then they just did another book shape. But they seem to be re-releasing those two omnibuses, which is interesting. Okay, 13 by 19. I'm sorry, the price on this is $100. And it is Superman obviously flying over a city. And it is signed by Neal at the bottom.
Hey, wait a second. We haven't printed this 2 feet by 3 feet yet.
No, we have not. So that is my first print of the night. That one for a second. Okay, for those of you who may not have bought this, this is a classic. It is the famous Joker cover, 251. And this one is on that fancy giclée paper, which if you bought from us and you bought one of these prints on giclée paper, it is a nice watercolor paper. I wish it was waterproof because then I could not have to worry about shipping stuff out in rain. This is 13 by 19 again, is a size, and it is signed by Neal at the bottom. And then there's another conversation I want to have where it's actually signed. Is it signed? Is this one signed? Can you see a signature thing?
This is signed, yes. It's right over the lookout bathroom.
Ah, okay.
It's just in silver and it blends with the blue, so it's a little hard to see.
Yeah. So I know recently a number of the color originals of old covers of
the color guides.
The color guides.
Yes.
have come up on the Neal Adams appreciation page. And I said, well, I would question whether those are real originals, but I wrote first obvious is it doesn't have the color numbers on it.
Right. The R.
And
R2B3.
usually, if either one of my parents did the piece, they always did the numbers on it. It was very rare that I ever saw anything leave our house that didn't have numbers on it that was in color.
Because Dad wanted to make damn sure he got the colors that he wanted.
Right. Now, a cover like this, I would think that Neal would color it. I mean, there are certain covers that Neal has done that he loves so much that he would take care of it. I mean, you heard stories from Neal himself saying, I'd go down to production and I'd see a great job by Russ Heath, but it was colored so badly that he'd get another set of color guides from Jack, and he would sit there all night and recolor a job because he couldn't look at the coloring that was done because he had such a love of that artist. So I can't believe that Neal would let every color cover go out by Jack Adler. It makes no sense to me. The third thing that I see is if it was done by Corey or Neal, both of them knew how to use a brush. Both of them were artists. If you look at how some of the color is laid down
I'm looking at
on some of those color guides that are on the Neal Adams appreciation page, it looks like Chris did it, and I did coloring like this. And not a guy who inks really well or a woman who's colored a lot of, they still use their same knowledge of how to lay paint down, whether it's ink or dyes or paint, and even their touch to a brush to paper is professional. I look at some of those color guides and I question, like, Jack also was a professional, and I'm looking at how the color is put down on those. And let me tell you, to get color guides from DC Comics is simple. They were around. I have closets of them. Let's say somehow I lost some of mine or something like that, and they got in the hands of people who color, and then they're being put out there as the originals. Who would ever know?
Right.
So all I'm stating is,
if it was Mom and Dad, it would have the color.
Which they weren't saying it was Mom and Dad.
No,
they were
I know.
Just saying that was the original to 251. I don't know how anyone would ever know if that's the original to 251. I can say that I don't think either one of my parents colored that.
Yeah, because there is, they sent a link to a Jack Adler color guide that looks like it's colored the same way.
Right.
The one that they're saying that this was.
Right. So all I'm saying is, when I write stuff, is just be careful.
Right.
It's kind of like my Chris picks. I lean into pieces that I know are drawn well.
Right.
And when I say stuff on the Neal Adams appreciation page, it's usually me saying, be careful, guys.
Yeah.
Don't always believe what you read. So I just wanted to put that out there, because sometimes if I write things, it can get a little thick because then people come after me, because obviously I don't know anything. And, and then I'm always challenged. And sometimes that can really be a downer.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to express what sometimes I'm expressing is just purely, be careful.
Yeah.
So, okay. So back to my print selling.
And I have El Tigre says, one of my favorite comics I own is Marvel Feature 1, The Defenders. Neal Adams cover. It is so epic.
Yep. That's a nice cover. Okay. Okay, next up I have a Poison Ivy, 13 by 19. This is Neal's drawing with Corey Adams coloring.
Sorry, because Mom had all the plant books.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice piece. Neal didn't do Poison Ivy. Maybe in the Harley Quinn.
Maybe in the Harley Quinn and a couple of busts now and then, but
So there's not a lot of poison ivy out there by Neal. This is a really nice piece. Like I said, it's colored by Corey. It was drawn by Neal. Right. Bill, if somebody were to show me a tomahawk cover and it was not laid down good color, for sure I would say that is not the original. Because I know Neal colored those. For sure. So it's just sometimes I look at the quality of those supposed originals and I just go, people weren't that sloppy. I mean, things were on a crunch, but people were professional at that time period. So $100 for Poison Ivy. It was $100 for the Batman 251. Hello, Robert. How are you?
You guys so gorgeous.
Yeah. I kind of pulled ones that are more obscure, like this one.
And Happy Towers could not be more correct. He says, just because you don't draw doesn't mean you don't have a good eye. Trust your eye, Chris, before most. I won't buy any Neal work outside the family.
I'm not saying that either.
Yeah, no,
it's just color guides are one really easy to, like, you know, I can sit here and I can color guides and say, yeah, this is my mom's color guides.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean, we grew up around mom and dad's stuff.
Right.
We know what to look for.
And even you guys are smart enough. Look at how the color was done. Think about Neal Adams, who draws all those ink lines.
Right.
Why would he all of a sudden become like a kindergartner colorist?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right. But they were, again, what you said was they weren't saying that it was Neal or mom that colored it.
Right.
It just means that we cannot confirm or deny whether that's the color guide for.
Right. It just, to me,
doesn't feel right.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Which is really the only time I ever put my 2 cents in, is when
your spidey senses
spidey senses go off and go, I don't know about this. You know, I mean, they may have found it amongst Jack's stuff. Could be. So anyway, what we're looking at right now is Doc Savage.
You're allowed to be biased. Felix, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, Phil said what I'm saying. I see many color guides and cover proofs being pushed out there. A ton of fakes, slime balls preying on unsuspected buyers, for sure. So we have this Doc Savage piece, which Neal did. Neal loved the artist that did the Doc Savage book covers, and was really happy when he got to do this. This also has the Doc Savage oath on it. It's signed by Neal. It is 13 by 19 in size. It's really another gorgeous piece. And I don't know, well, it says, I love this piece from a 1970s Doc Savage magazine.
I wonder if the Doc Savage oath should be the presidential oath.
Could be. And it is $100 to buy. Well, we'll think about that. We'll enter that into the arena of presidential oaths. So. All right. That is Doc Savage. What else do I have? Okay. I went with like artsier prints tonight.
Yeah, we're doing our artsy print.
We're doing our artsy prints. So I have a couple of these left. This is from Batman Odyssey. This is Neal's pencil for, I believe it was Batman Odyssey 2's cover, where Batman is being shot at from every direction, and he is using his cape to catch bullets. And he's really pissed off because he's got a lot of guys shooting at him.
And Mike Rock says, thank you for going over the color guides. I've been wondering how you can tell if they are genuine or not. From what you said, you really can't.
Yeah, even I can. I mean, I can tell sometimes because I know my parents, how they letter. Yeah. So when they do the call-out numbers,
we know their handwriting.
so I can catch it that way. I mean, there's also a palette in which, my dad worked in, which then became my mother's palette.
Which then became my palette.
Right. So we can spot things. But color guides, they're easy to make.
Remember one time being told as an insult, "You color like your father." And I just went, "Thank you."
So Batman pencil here from Batman Odyssey #2 is $100 to buy. The size again is 13 by 19. It is signed by Neal, and I think Batman Odyssey is a project that really Neal put a lot of heart and soul into that.
And it's so underrated.
Well, nobody understood it. So.
Right. Batman Odyssey, I mean, you need like encyclopedias and research. You need like Google next to you while you're reading it, and you got to like read it all in one go so you don't forget what happened before.
Or make notes.
Yeah, you got to make notes.
Make notes on the side. Like get a copy that you can write notes in. So, and I think actually Batman Odyssey is.
We should reprint Batman Odyssey with a margin,
right?
For making
notes.
Well,
they have it. I believe it is in the Batman Omnibus. So if you haven't been able to get a Batman Odyssey, and you might be curious enough at this point, I believe the new Batman Omnibus coming out. Well, even the old Batman Omnibus did have Batman Odyssey in it. So there is a way of getting your hands on it if you haven't been able to. And Kelly Russ says he's reading the Doc Savage books now. Just bought the entire collection, and I'm reading them in order. I have never read the Doc Savage books, so I'll have to try one out. So again, Batman Odyssey, Neal's pencil for the cover here. I love how, Batman's catching bullets in his cape.
Kevlar man.
Right, it's caught in the fold of the cape. It's cool. Thinking, Neal's always thinking. As he says, it's about thinking, not drawing. Okay. Now, this matches up. Now, this one is one that is kind of screwed up, so this is mine. 100. This one is 100. So this is the painting that you saw earlier.
As a Jacquet.
Maybe Z can go back and forth on them. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If my lighting will allow me.
So this is the Jacquet. And now this is $100 to buy, and it is much smaller than the original painting. And it is 13 by 19. I only have one left because this is my screwed up copy. And this doesn't come with a Neal Adams signature because this was made after Neal had already passed. So this comes with the holographic Neal Adams autograph that we put on the back. I just have one left. So
last one.
So we showed the painting in the front end of the show, and now we're showing the Jacquet of it. And when you put them next to each other, they're super close in color. So 100 to buy this. It is on that nice paper.
Luckily enough, when we take sometimes when we take something to a scanner, we get a guy who actually knows who Dad is and is religious on matching color in the scan.
Right. So this is
price on
100.
Yeah, sorry. 100, Robert. And he says claim for 100.
Okay. And Robert just bought the last one we have of that. There you go.
Congratulations, Robert. Thanks.
Give you a pen?
I'll find one.
Okay, Robert.
There you go. I was going to say, we need the noisemaker.
I felt you catching me not doing it. Okay, Robert, I'm going to tell you right now, it is not the one that I have in the show that you're getting, even though I'm putting the sticker on the back of it. because that one has gotten a little scraped up. So we have one in the box. And that's it, which is kind of nice. Finally, we have sold out.
Yay!
So, do we need the ones? So the good news is, as of tomorrow, our good bombs are back.
Woohoo!
So, Zia and I
our bloomy bombs,
have been missing our big bombs.
The boom bombs.
These aren't quite as exciting. They have done a good job for us, but they're not as big and explosive and dangerous.
Yes, well, they are labeled not for indoor use.
Yes,
so.
But that has never stopped Zia and myself. So for Robert,
well, considering I didn't even notice that until we've been using it for a year.
Yeah.
So. Woo-hoo!
There we go for Robert.
And Bertman says the color on that Green Lantern really pops in person.
It does pop in person for sure. It's a great chocolate. So. Okay, and then my last print for the night, which I'm going to pull.
Oh, so Robert says, so you have the original art of the Hell. Yes, that is the painting that you see right there behind Chris.
You can see his glove.
Which is about 2.5 by 3 feet, a little over 3 feet.
Right.
But I do not know what the price on this is.
Right. If anyone is interested in finding out, just direct message us. I don't remember what the price was on this. So if you're interested in finding out, it's going to be a high price. I can tell you that. And just direct message me. I'll find out what the price is on this and get back to you with it.
He says, we'll send a message. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay. And then there's a print. Just when you thought I was done with prints, there's another one. Okay, so 13 by 19. This is the pencil to a redo of the original convention one that Neal did. So this is slightly different than the first one that Neal did that you saw in color. You'll notice the change in Deadman's face. And I believe the Batman figures are also slightly different. It is slightly different. It's like Neal took it and decided to improve some things because he had more time to do it this time around. So this is Neal's pencil for the redo of that famous piece that a lot of people love.
Okay, we have 2 comments. Stevie B's House of Collectibles on YouTube says, hi, ladies. Been catching the show recently on replay, but first time I've made it here live. Thank you for joining us. Was a pretty regular viewer and mystery box buyer during the pandemic era. Chuckles forever! And then on Instagram, we have Joseph L. Krippen. I think, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He says, I greet you and take this opportunity to remember the day I had the honor of meeting Mr. Neal Adams. We talked for several minutes. He told me about his great exploits at Marvel. I was 17 years old. Nice.
Nice. And Benjamin Wyman's on with us today.
Yay! Benjamin!
So again, the print we're looking at, that is 13 by 19, is a pencil of a redo of the original convention piece that he did. Again, there are slight differences in this. It's not exactly the same. And it is done in pencil. And it is signed by Neal. And this is $100 to buy.
Benjamin said, woo!
Yeah. You're missing Benjamin.
I know. He's too busy living it up somewhere.
Flirting with the girls.
Benjamin. And Ford says, I just found 2 open Chuckles from the red boxes.
Nice.
I don't know. They might not be as soft as Chewy as they used to be.
I saw Chuckles being advertised on Amazon, and I was like, I should buy some Chuckles. But then I was we're getting close to the Halloween months, and I'll bring Chuckles back then.
Yay!
So, we have to honor Dad with Chuckles. So.
Of course.
But you kind of have to wait. So you get to at least September, and then you crawl into Halloween and craziness. And you know, Z and I.
Well,
do
somebody
Halloween.
tell that to like Walgreens and freaking everywhere else that already got their Halloween stuff up. And even like all over the internet, everybody's showing, oh, this is going to be my Halloween decor.
I'm ready.
I'm loving it.
Right.
I'm ready for Halloween. I want Halloween to be from now until the actual Halloween. Screw the summer stuff.
It's been too hot.
Benjamin says, I missed all y'all.
We
missed you, Benjamin.
So 13 by 19, this is the Detective 1000 cover that Neal did in what you saw black and white with wash. And then once we published that with DC, then Neal went and finished the painting, and this is what the finished painting looked like. This is 13 by 19. The rest is Halloween is the greatest month of the year.
Yep.
It is signed by Neal at the bottom. And you know, Z and I go crazy to Halloween, and we make videos that are insane for you guys all the time. I mean, how many videos did we do last year? We did 2. We actually did the Halloween show. We had the Death in the Basement.
We had the Death in the Basement, the Halloween show. But before, then we had the Thanksgiving.
Right.
And then we did our Christmas thing. And then this spring we did our
Easter. We had the Easter Bunny here this Easter.
We had the Easter Bunny, and we did the St. Patrick's.
Yep, we did the St. Patrick's.
So yeah, we try to make it entertaining for you guys.
Summer's just boring. Z and I have been like racking our brains as to like, well, we can make pina coladas.
There you go. Stevie B's House of Collectibles says, did you guys make the Hot Flips show in Babylon on Sunday? If so, how was it? Wanted to go, but had a family commitment. It was my first time going there, so I can't really compare like what I experienced that day to like other days that they have it. There were definitely people. It was a lot of families, people bringing their little kids for something to do on Sunday. It was a nice show. I enjoyed myself.
I did not go.
Chris did not go.
Okay.
Chris is the family EMT.
Right. So I am. Did I EMT this weekend? I don't think.
Well, you didn't go because Courtney wasn't feeling well. You didn't want to disappear on her. You wanted to be like on hand in case anything exploded.
Well, that is true. 13 by 19 Ghost Rider. Everybody's had so many ailments I can't keep up with everybody. 13 by 19 Ghost Rider here. This is one of the few times, if not the only time, I have seen Neal do Ghost Rider. He may have done a profile. Actually, it was a front-on, I think, Ghost Rider. But really never played with Ghost Rider. So when we got this cover, it was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do up a Ghost Rider. And this is what Neal did. This, again, is 13 by 19. It is $100 to buy. It's a really sweet piece. It has a lot of glowiness to it.
Although I will say, I wish they had let him use the headlight that he had created.
The original.
That
they made us change the front of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And what Neal had designed originally was
very scully and really cool.
Yeah. And then we had to do a patch.
Yeah.
So $100 for Ghost Rider, signed by Neal at the bottom, 13 by 19.
Can't tell you how many times I wanted to tell people, just let Dad draw what he wants to draw. It'll be cool. Don't worry about it.
No. Gotta keep continuity of your characters, eh? Like an artist. Okay. This is another one of the Detective 1000 variant covers that Continuity did. This was our A cover. And this is great lightning here, great Batman, great rain. This was a piece that took electronics to do and a lot of brain power. And it was a lot to work with Neal on this. There are certain pieces that go through here like this. And then there are certain pieces up here that there's a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
This is a crying piece.
And eyes crossing.
Right. So this has Neal Adams lightning, which Neal is very precise over what he believes lightning looks like. And he wanted rain. And we, like I said, we digitally worked this cover. Zia worked very hard on getting that rain to work exactly the way you wanted it.
It even splashes off the surfaces.
Right. He wanted the splashes off of the gargoyle, splashing off of Batman.
Splashing off Robin.
Right. Now, if you were with us a couple of Wednesday nights ago, actually, no, we had just gone off. They weren't with us.
Oh, during lightning?
Yeah.
No. No, the best part is like Chris goes all Bugs Bunny. I mean, I have my back to the window. Chris is facing the window, and we're like cleaning up, and we're putting the cameras away and everything. And suddenly, Chris makes this like Bugs Bunny gayooga look on her face, and looking at whatever is behind me, and I am just.
I went, oh my God.
Yeah, she went, oh my God. And then I was just so exhausted that day. I'm like, whatever monster is outside that window, just let it get me. It's fine.
Well, this is the lightning bolt because it was a Neal Adams lightning bolt outside our window. It was this big, chonky lightning bolt.
Lit up the sky like
lit
daylight.
Up the sky. And they show it on the news. Like it's become the news weather thing and all the 11 o'clock news in New York now. They show, I think it like hit over near the Empire State Building, which is why it was like so big
bright.
in this window. And it's a big chunk of a lightning bolt, which Dad would say, can you lift this lightning bolt yet? And put it. It's
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't have a camera pointed at the window at the time.
It's an official Neal Adams lightning bolt. So that was 100 to buy.
That's just like, let it get me. I don't care. Stevie B's House of Collectibles says, if I made it there, I was going to bring a commercial piece that I had bought from you guys, which was a watercolor of 2 tennis players. Wanted to know what it was originally used for, if at all. Well, if you want, I'm going to put up. All right, this is our website, and there is a Contact Us button on our website. You can certainly, send us a picture of the image that you're talking about, and we can see if we can figure out what job it was.
Right,
depending on how long ago the job was and who was working on it, we will try to figure out what it was all about for you.
Right. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. Sometimes art has been pulled out of. Here, I'll show you.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. We also had the guy that was running our front room, artist, would also at times just like collect certain things like dogs and make a dog file. So like the dog was not in the file of the job it was connected to, it was in the dog file. So our files are a little wonky, maybe is the word for it. But Chris is going to go take a look. He says, thanks, fair enough, I'll do that.
Yeah, he just direct messages us.
Yep. Chris had to take the long way around to the cabinet.
Yeah, because of the paint.
So what we are looking at right now until Chris returns is a double page spread from this Batman Ra's al Ghul. Chris?
What?
This is Batman Ra's al Ghul?
This is Detective 1000.
Oh, okay. Detective 1000. Sorry.
And it's called Heretic is the story.
Heretic.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a double page spread. So it is 17 by 22.
And it is
9,000. So this is a great price. I mean, imagine getting a page from Neal for 4,500.
Well, I would say
that printed page. You get a double page spread. That's basically what it breaks down to per page.
Right. Now, I will say this is a great double page spread to own because you have such a huge Batman full figure in your double page spread. So it is a nice price for a published piece. And this is published original art. Pencil and ink is Neal. Again, this can be put on the payment plan. So it's not unreachable.
Batman going, get your ass back out there and shovel the drive.
I love actually the building, the architecture of the building that is actually sitting behind Batman's back is amazing. There's a lot of cool stuff on this double page spread in general, a lot of work. That's cool work. The dragon is cool on it. So there's a lot of cool stuff on it. Nice double page spread for $9,000 is a good price. And I don't know if he signed it. Did he sign it? You see me?
Yes, it is on the top right-hand side of the page, under the feet and in the snow.
Oh, that's right. It's in the snow. I see it.
It's in the snow.
In the snow. Not Neal Adams hiding his name.
Only Neal Adams can sign on snow.
Right. So since the discussion of our commercial work came up. So we have cabinets and cabinets of envelopes that look like this. Each envelope is a different job that we commercially did. And inside of it is usually our pencils, our inks, and our color, if you're lucky. And some envelopes don't have names on them, some do. Some actually have the layouts from the client. But we have millions of these up here.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys say, when are they going to run out of art? It's like, well, probably never.
We easily have about 30 cabinets full.
Yeah. And when I say full, I mean these go into the cabinet, stacked like this, and it's probably that high on a shelf, and there are 2 stacks per shelf. So to answer the question of can we figure out all the jobs that we did, it's a hard one. We have a good memory of a lot of that stuff, but sometimes some pieces just are not sure anymore.
Some of them are just a little too obscure.
Benjamin says, I hope you guys never run out of commercial art. I doubt if we'll ever run out of commercial art.
We are hoping to run out of commercial art. Because, I mean, we want people to own these.
I mean, there's a lot of good information in this commercial art. There's a lot of fun, nice pieces. A lot of what I refer to as Kodak moments, if you go back that far. We did a tremendous amount of work for Kodak back when there was a Kodak moment. So, okay, my next original piece of art is the Hulk. Now, this is a pen and ink by Neal Hulk cover. It was a Hulk #1.
That's my big boy.
Again, Hulk is a character, I guess in the Defenders, Neal has played with the Hulk, but there's not a lot of Hulk, I would say, out there by Neal. This is a published piece where they wanted to kind of spoof the Superman kryptonite, breaking chains. So this is Hulk breaking chains.
Nice thing about Hulk is it doesn't matter what the chains are made out of. You can bust them.
Right. And the nice thing here, too, is if you're a learning artist, you will notice that Neal uses different weights of line so that the chains feel the weight of the chains is different than the weight of his pants or the weight of his hands even. So it's nice to look at art like this and look at how Neal's line work changes for what he is inking so that everything has a weight besides everything else that's going on. So this has a price of $12,000 for a published cover, pen and ink Neal, and it was a Hulk #1 variant cover. And it is signed by Neal, because sometimes I don't know if he signed it. So, okay. Next up, speaking of commercial jobs, I don't remember what job this is, but I do have the job jacket. So I could tell you after the fact. Obviously, it has a Russian feel. My sense is it was probably...
Was it like a vodka or something?
A vodka. Yeah, I believe this was a vodka job. But I do have the job envelope for this because I've seen it. So what we're selling here is the black and white originals and then the original color for $200. So it's like $100 per frame. And, you know, it's a cool piece. It's like an angel woman. And then she is romance, and she's in the woods with a Russian guy, maybe. Pine Woods. I don't know.
Skullcap Savant. Actually, I worked on those expanding animations because Dad was not very digitally inclined, although he did understand very well how it worked. Do we still have any of the artwork from the videos?
The artwork from the videos is part of the book stuff.
Yeah.
So it is all held.
Gotcha.
At this
So yeah,
point.
we do still have a lot of the artwork. It's just that we're not putting it out there.
As of yet.
As
it
of yet.
hasn't happened.
But one never knows.
Right. So again, this is commercial work. These are frames for a storyboard. And once again, I thought the art on this was really, really nice. And obviously the color on this is also very, very nice. $200 is the asking price. You get the black and white as well as the color within that $200 pricing. Okay, another commercial piece. Now this one we've shown before. This is the couple in the bathroom in the messy house.
Oh. It's the shower scene.
The shower scene, oh my God. Now, I can say this was a Chris job because that's my sloppy handwriting down there. What it was for, I don't remember. And this is no longer his job jacket. So I would have a hard time putting together what this was actually for.
Oopsie doodles.
It is $100. The intentions were to have a see-through shower curtain with 2 people in there, and the apartment was supposed to be a total mess.
Well, actually, the curtain is parted, so like that middle bit,
Right.
if this were to be colored, would have to be colored not like you're seeing through a shower curtain.
True. Now you could buy this for $100. Talk to Zia and see what she would charge for coloring this, and this would become an interesting piece. So you can think of it that way too. Neal Adams, pen and ink here. And another piece of paper, we would then, like we do the commercial work, we copy this.
I don't know, man.
another
Somebody left the
piece.
toilet seat up, though.
Well, in my notes, the client asked for that.
Did they? Toilet seat up.
So this is $100 to buy. It is very cute. It is sexy, but not over the top sexy. And Zia can make it sexier in color. So $100 for the black and white.
Little elf collectible says, ooh, steamy.
And we can steam it in color. Okay, next up.
I get myself into more trouble every day.
You do too. We have a Batgirl full figure. She's a full figure woman, meaning she's from head to toe.
Yes.
She is $1,800 to purchase. She is line art by Neal, pen and ink. Color on this is actually Jason Adams. She has a lot of nice airbrushing in her background. It's a completely airbrushed background there by Jason. Nice Batgirl. I always feel like she's like on a pier or airport for some reason. So $1,800 is the price on Batgirl. Again, her size is 11 by 14. Whoa. And that girl has fallen. Okay, my next piece I'm going to pull from behind me.
Oh, what do you have behind you?
Yeah. Amanda.
No. Oh, guys.
Zia wants this one.
I do.
This is Manbat. Now, this is a drawing that Neal did for actually Jason.
It's so
cool! Why did he do it for Jason? This is a drawing that then helped Jason do this sculpture of Manbat. So this is a line drawing pencil of Manbat by Neal. And that was in order to help Jason with the sculpt that he did of the black and white of Manbat.
He's so cute. I want him.
So $2,200, I think, is the asking price on this. It is a large piece. If you throw me the rulers, they did actually.
Well, it's a metal ruler, so I'm not going to throw it, but I'll hand it to you.
Yeah. I will say the size of this, where he is, I would say is
9 by 12.
9 by 12.
Yeah.
So $2,200. Pencils by Neal. I don't think this was ever published. Maybe Jason may have put this in one of our sketchbooks. I don't know for sure. But it was for this Manbat statue.
Look at that Quantum! He's so cute!
Zia just wants to color Manbat. I think you should take this dark and color.
I'm going to
It's a great Manbat. I mean, when Dad did drawings for Jason, I mean, it was perfection because it was showing how things work. So everything here was thought about. It wasn't like I'm kind of on autopilot. Or it's not so much that Neal's on autopilot. It's more like he's not telling a story. This is him, designing for a statue. So everything has to be right. Everything has to be there. And yet exciting in a pose.
I want to become a mad scientist and find a really nice guy and turn him into Manbat.
Hello, Brent. How are you? So
Hi, Brent.
$2,200 for this piece. It is signed by Neal. I'm going to move this so that I don't break it. Okay. We have the Batman fight with Joker. Which is 11 by 14. This was part of that animation sequence that Neal drew 3 different drawings to show the animation. And this is Joker taking down Batman. The size of this is 11 by 14, pen and ink Neal, colored by Zia. And the size is 11 by 14, and the price of it is $2,000. A nice sign piece by Neal. $2,000 is the price. Batman and Joker, 2 characters that we love that Neal draws. I still have my 11 by 14 Vampirella that I find adorable. This is pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Zia. for $1,400.
Yeah, we intentionally kept the color very subtle, just to give it a different feel than we usually do with color.
Right.
So it's just a tint. Did Neal do any additional pulp characters such as the Shadow, the Black Bat, or the Avenger? Well, he did the Shadow.
He did the Shadow. He did that piece I believe you bought, which was the spider guy. I mean, Neal didn't do a lot of pulp characters, so I would have to say maybe we have some of the shadows still. We have a shadow cover that's available to buy. I think we've sold all of the shadow commercial work we did. So we may just be down to a published cover of the shadow that Neal did at this point.
He says, yes, got the spider.
Yeah. Right. So what we're looking at right now is Vampirella for $1,400. She is 8.5 by 11. I find her truly to be a very cute Vampirella, sexy, like on the cute side.
Sexy but not trashy.
Thank you, Zia.
You're welcome.
Okay, so here is what we talk about, because I wanted to show you what we're always talking about. Because sometimes I think it's hard to understand, like, what are they talking about? So this is a black and white original, or pencil and ink original by Neal of Batgirl. And then we always talk about that you can keep your original black and white original artwork pristine, and then you can color it on another piece of paper, which is exactly what I just showed you in that commercial work, where you saw the black and white line art and then you saw the color frame next to it. So it's something that in continuity we have been very comfortable with working this way for many, many years, because that's how we did it commercially, because then it was easier to make changes. It didn't impact a lot of frames, and it would just really impact the color and not too much the original art. So basically what we did here was exactly what we're talking about. Keeping your black and white original pristine, and then doing a copy of it, and then let Zia color on the copy of the piece. So in essence, you almost get like two pieces here. So these two pieces go together for $1,900. So it is pen and ink by Neal, color is Zia. And you're also seeing what Zia does. This is exactly like when we show you the Superman, where he's in that alley and he's, just opened his shirt revealing Superman. And Neal did the figure kind of like the way Batgirl is here, yet Zia did that great background on that Superman piece, the same way Zia did the coloring of the background on the Batgirl piece. So like I said, this Batgirl piece is $1,900 to buy. You get both pieces. I'm not going to separate the two pieces because that's silly. So for $1,900, you get the original black and white line art, and you get the color. Wasn't there a shadow prelim to the cover as well, or am I mistaken? Yes, there is a prelim to the shadow cover. Yes. We have both pieces to that. Okay. Next up is this really nice Wonder Woman piece. She is 11 by 14. Pen and ink is Neal. And our belief on this is that the color work on this is also Neal, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So this is $2,500 to buy. And I would say this Wonder Woman is based on doing a comic book Wonder Woman. I wouldn't say this is a Gal Gadot or based on an actress. This is more a comic book rendition of Wonder Woman.
Oh, this is when I screwed up, isn't it? Hey, come on in, fix that.
Oh, because it runs fast?
Because I rushed it and I didn't go back and fix it.
Yeah. So really nice Wonder Woman here. 2,500 is the price.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. And it's a signed piece by Neal. So again, original art can go on the payment plan where you put 1/3 down as a down payment and they make monthly payments after that you control how much those monthly payments are. We hold the art till you're completely paid off and then we ship it to you once you're done with all your payments. Okay. So did Jason ever answer us? Or?
No.
All right. So for no, I forget his name. It'll come to me if I don't think about it.
Robert T. Muhammad?
No, it's not Robert. It's actually something new, which is why it's not coming quickly. Okay, we have El Diablo, 8.5 by 11.
Oh, the person asking about the Pulp Fiction?
Yeah. No, not about the Pulp Fiction. This was about the Thor.
Oh.
So for the person who's asking about the Thor, and I'm sorry to say your name went completely out of my head, it doesn't seem like Jason's around for us to ask him the question tonight, but we can definitely have it on air with us on Friday. So, okay, so we're looking at El Diablo. He is 8.5 by 11. This is pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Zia. The price of this is $1,500. It is a signed piece by Neal. And El Diablo is a character that Neal really enjoyed working on, even though he didn't do it too often. You know, because they would want to keep Neal on a higher book.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Hey, that's my job.
I know. We fix you, and now I'm
taking my job.
So El Diablo is $1,500 to buy.
Instead of going to an allergy so I don't sneeze anymore, so Chris has to take over.
I'm saying we finally fixed you, and now I'm going to fall apart. Okay. Next up is a really nice Dead Man, 8.5 by 11, pen and ink Neal. Color on this, on the skin tone of Dead Man, is Neal, and the remaining balance of it is Zia. So $1,800 is the price on Dead Man. Is he in Baba Ganoush?
He's always in Baba Ganoush. He's not at the circus, he's at Baba Ganoush.
5 years from now, robots will be showing us the art. Okay, so good question. How do you set the price for these pieces? Is it by size, character, color versus black and white, or is it completely arbitrary?
All of the above. No.
As much as it seems like it could be arbitrary, it really isn't. There is if it is a bust, if it is a head, if it's a full figure, there were set different prices because this came from doing commissions. If somebody wanted a headshot, that costs less than doing a bust because now I have to draw the shoulders and chest. If I have to stick the legs in, that's an even longer time drawing. So there is a price structure to what the piece is.
Right.
I will say
there's also all the other variables as to Is it a published piece? Is it a popular character or somebody who's obscure that really nobody's going to want?
Well, I would say what changed was the popular character changed.
Yes.
When Dad died.
Yes.
Then the pricing on Batman for us came up a bit because Batman was what most people wanted. So Batman kind of crept up higher than I would say Dead Man, because Dead Man is a lesser character. Color does play a role in upping a price because
complexity of the piece.
And Zia price is based on, this is a simple background. If Zia's creating a building background, then of course she's going to look for more money for that. So there is thinking within the madness of how do you come up with prices for this stuff.
Yeah, well, and Sam, even within the price guide that Dad based on full size, full figure, blah, 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 Dad would also take into consideration, okay, this guy comes over to me and he's only got thus and so amount of money, but he really wants a Superman bust. So he'll make a simplified Superman bust.
Yeah.
But if somebody says, I want a Superman bust, but men really go all out and I got, whatever price you want me to pay, then Dad will do a really amazing Superman bust. So it's the complexity of the piece, it's the popularity of the character, it's the size of the piece, how much of the character is in it. There's a lot of factors that go into the prices of our pieces. We don't just kind of go, oh, well, it's this size, that price.
Okay.
And then there's also the factor of how much does somebody want to spend for it, and how much are we willing to let go of that piece for? Because we do love the pieces as well. So there's a certain amount of, we're not going to have it anymore here, like that Man-Bat piece.
All right, so here we go. Robert Muhammad was asking me if I could show the shadow art. The shadow art I had intended to show the actual finished cover. I don't have the prelim with me in my stack tonight. So this is a published cover from the Shadow #1 from Dynamite. So this is published. The price on this is $7,000. Which again, for a published cover, is an amazing price. So pencils and ink Neal. It was published Shadow #1 from Dynamite. I unfortunately don't have that comic book anymore. Otherwise, I put it with the comic. But I have no copies of that. $7,000 is the asking price for this piece.
Sebastian, usually when we pull up a piece that has color, we will let you know who colored it. Everything that we have is, we will tell you exactly everything that you need to know about every piece. And we do provide certificates of authenticity for an additional cost. If it is something that does not have a signature on it, we will include our special sticker that is a laser sticker or holographic sticker that has Neal's signature on it. That way you are getting it from the family of Neal Adams and it is authentic.
Actually, Zia, who was just talking to you, is one of the colorists up at Continuity.
Yes.
So.
But sometimes Dad will color a piece himself just because he's at home, he's got his box of markers and he wants to do it. Other times he'll have me work on it. Sometimes we have sent stuff to Tim Shin or another colorist. We will say if it was not done by us, if it was done by an outside colorist. And for us, Jason colors.
Okay, well, we do say that. Just like when I had this Dead Man piece up. Okay, prime example of it. I said that the skin tone of Dead Man is actually colored by Neal. The rest of this piece, if it's not skin tone, of Dead Man was colored by Zia. So this is a combination of Neal and Zia for 1800 in color. The pen and ink work on this is completely Neal. The size of it is 8.5 by 11. So we're very upfront with who colors what. Our commercial work, that's a little harder to do because our commercial work was done by many people who worked through the nights doing our commercial coloring.
And Robert, the shadow was 11 by 17 as it was a published cover. So it is 11 by 17 in size.
Right. Okay, Batman here is 8.5 by 11, and he is $2,000. This is pen and ink Neal. It's a signed piece by Neal. Now I have another Batman floating around, which I think
you betcha, Robert.
I think is in my pile, may not be in my pile tonight. And that one is priced lower. And you'll say, but it's kind of the same thing. Now this one is priced higher because the inking on this is much finer. It's a much more worked piece. So in pricing, that's what I'm saying, all these things come into being. I have a Batman that's inked very kind of thick. A little less work in it, which is why that one is $1,400 and why this one is $2,000. So a lot of different things go into the pricing on these. So $2,000 for this Batman, 8.5 by 11, signed by Neal. Has yet to be colored. Okay. Here's another Batman piece. This one's fun. I love this piece. This is an 11 by 14 Batman by Neal. And this is 100% completely Neal. The white paint is Neal. This is $4,000 to buy. Very classic Neal Adams piece.
I'm pulling it up. Has DC ever published a book of Neal's covers from the various decades, and is there any completed continuity material that may see the light of day at some point?
Okay, in regards to covers, I might as well say hi, Rich. In regards to covers, DC, my understanding in the meetings that Neal and I have had with DC, that if you think of the past of comics, covers were not reprinted. Interiors were reprinted. So they had two people supposedly who handled the separations or films of comics. The person who handled covers, either, I mean, it's hard to say they didn't do as good a job, or maybe because they were never going to reprint covers ever in that time period, they didn't pay attention to the covers, which is probably more it. And that they did hold on to their interiors better because they could reprint interiors all the time. So the problem is that the covers were not maintained as well. So I don't know if we'll ever truly see a cover book of all of Neal's covers. I don't know if that can ever happen.
Right, and Skullcap Savant says, I have Neal's hardcover Batman and Deadman omnibuses, and they do collect the published covers in there too. And he also says, I'll bet you'd have to get a separate compendium with all his samplings, though.
Well, there is a gallery book that is coming out that has a lot of shot from the actual originals, black and white. So if you're into black and white, pen and ink work, there's gallery books that are coming out in January. They pushed it back now to January.
Added to it, so
right,
pushed it back.
Right. Now, in regards to answering now the other part of that, which is what's going on with continuity comics.
Yes.
Right now, I am talking to a publisher about possibly doing certain sections of continuities comics and working with a publisher to get that done. So I am waiting for some answers. We just all had San Diego, so I'm just waiting patiently.
Well, we all had San Diego, and then like almost everybody that went to San Diego got COVID. So
yeah, right. So we are trying to work out, whether we can finish off some stuff that we've left behind that never got finished. We have Peter Stone with us, who was the writer with Neal, was Neal's assistant in a lot of keeping continuity comics together. Pete is working very hard in finishing off or finding plots that Neal wrote and stuff like that we can finish some stuff. So like I said, we are trying to get that on the road. That is something that we're actually working very hard to get done. So those were the two questions you asked. So we're back to Batman here, 11 by 14, pen and ink, a lot of pencil work on this one with white paint. It is a very stoic, I call this a Warner piece, like from the Warner Brothers store. Really nice original. This framed up would be amazing in anyone's living room. Really lovely piece, $4,000. And I will say this is a crisp pick. Okay, where do I go now? I'm just trying to find stuff that I do have smaller pieces, like this Joker piece here, 8.5 by 11, but it's one of those profiles for $700. So that's a nice cover piece.
And this one was done post-COVID because it's got the COVID carnation.
Okay. Now Zia's not going to have pans and scans on this. These are some comics that we have with remarks. I'm going to try and angle it so we don't get too much glare. Actually, tonight we haven't got much glare.
I just need to brighten it up a little bit.
Right. So this is the Joker series of comics that Neal did the covers for. That giant Joker face there is a remark that was done by Neal on that cover. So that is drawn actually on the comic book cover. What's interesting is that Neal decided to paint his teeth and use white paint and red marker for his lips. So it's a partially colored piece. It's a very big Joker head and remark on this cover. And we're selling this for $1,000. Now, this is, in our mind, considered a piece of original art. So this can go into the payment plan of 1/3 down and then paying payments through time to pay it off. So this is going to fall into art. So you can get on the payment plan with this piece. But that's a really adorable Joker. By Neal, $1,000. I know it's hard to believe that Joker can be adorable, but this one is very kind of cute. $1,000 is the price. And again, it's a very big head on there, bigger than the logo. So we have that available. We have, this is a facsimile edition of the Man-Bat cover, where Neal, again, and it's very rare that Neal ever fills anything in with color when he does a remark, but that Batman head there is colored by Neal, pen and ink is Neal,
And we're going to say this 100 times. It's a facsimile. It's a facsimile. It's a facsimile.
Right. And the price on this is
$500.
$500. And that's a nice remark. It even has cowl on it, signed by Neal. Really nice remark on this. And it's the Batman Man Bat. I'm just going to go through some remarks that we have available. This one is Robin, Son of Batman. This is one of the 27 covers. And this is a Neal Adams with Bill Sienkiewicz inking cover. And on this is a Batman remark in black there, a very large one. It's a great cover. And this is $700 to buy. Nice big bat head there. Okay. This one is another Batman. He's slightly tilted down. It's like the other one I just showed. It's on the Man Bat facsimile edition. And it's another remark of Batman in the middle. With a signature, and this one is $600 to buy. So these are for comic collectors that are into remarks. And these are some of our bigger remarks by Neal. This one we have a Harley Quinn. This one is $250 to buy. So Harley's in silver. Neal's signature is in gold. And that is on Neal's Harley Quinn's Little Black Notebook, issue number 5, which the interiors of this book is all Neal. That's a nice Harley Quinn, like I said, in silver remark on it. The price on this is $250 to buy. And since remarks have kind of come out later, I would say in Neal's career, I wouldn't say that there's a lot of remarks out there by Neal.
That is true.
Because remarks are relatively new. So, outside of little tiny heads or sometimes a little bat. Okay, we showed 2 of these on Friday afternoon, evening, and we sold one. This is the last one that we have. And what's interesting about this is the cover where Neal wanted to do An Awful Lot of Blood, and DC said no. So they did a black and white cover, and then Neal had us go out and get a stamp made that had to match his drawing. And then Neal at conventions would pound this stamp onto his covers.
And none of us were allowed to do the stamping. Only Dad. And it was only because he had so much fun doing it.
Right. He loved making his big poundy sounds. And everybody would jump.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, what is Neal doing now?
Right. So this is $100 to buy. It is the last one we have that was stamped by Neal. This is the last one we have that actually has the red blood cape. Mm-hmm. And Neal has also signed the comic, obviously, in red right above the moon. So $100 for this. a nice memento of Neal in a weird way. He loved it. He enjoyed it. It was amazing. We found a person who could make a stamp.
All right, Robert Muhammad is claiming the Batman with the blood.
Okay, Robert, it is yours.
Which issue number was this?
I would just call it Batman versus Ra's al Ghul #1. Okay.
Woohoo!
That is Robert's.
Robert's is cool.
Yep.
And Brent says, "Dang it, Robert, was this the only one left?"
That's the only one left. I do not have any more. Sorry about that. We had 2 of them on Friday. One got bought on Friday, and this was the other one. So if another one comes up, I mean, sometimes we find stuff packed away in the wrong boxes, but
Woo!
even if I found it, it would not be stamped. So, and we put Neal's stamp away. Neal's stamp lives up on the shelf.
Retired.
It has been retired. So, whatever is stamped that's out there is what's out there stamped.
Brent says, "Grr, Okies, no worries." Sorry, Brent.
Gotta be fast. Okay.
Batman says, "Bought by another Robert."
So I have this Batman, which is an interesting Batman.
A startled Batman.
A lot different than a lot of the other heads out there of Batman.
It's not easy to startle Batman.
This one is $700. I think so. Yeah, $700 to buy. Pen and ink Neal, signed by Neal.
So I had a friend years ago, and during a conversation, I was being my usual idiot self, and she flicked me on the forehead, and this is the face that I had when she did it. I was like, did you just flick me? Like, I've never been flicked in my life like that. It was brilliant.
All right. So once again, Batman 8.5 by 700. 8.5 by 11 for 700.
That's good late. 8.5 by 700.
Okay, so now we come up to the Z hour of the show.
That's not gonna be a whole hour.
Okay, here we go. So Zia has been busy, guys. She
busy me.
What do you want to start with your comics first?
Whatever you feel.
Let's start with your comics first. So I'm going to put up both comics so that you can see them. Zia can talk about them because they're Zia's projects.
Okay. Well, y'all know me. You know I've been doing the Voodoo Doll series of superhero characters, and of course, I'd love to homage Dad's covers because, you know, if you want it to look good, you go buy the best design, right? So I have here. You see, I have homaged Dad's first Green Lantern cover that he did, which was Green Lantern 63. Sitting there. Now this is original pencil, ink, and color by me on a sketch cover. And then the other one is Dad's X-Men, The Last X-Men, number 59. Again, pencil, ink, and color on a original sketch cover. These can go to CGC. I usually get between a 9.6 and a 9.8 when I send in my fully colored CGCs, which is for pencil, ink, and color. That is a good number.
Yeah, but then if Chris touches them, the number goes down.
Yeah, I know. You touching my books is like me touching your crystals. These are selling for $250 each.
Right.
For anybody who is interested.
Now, Zia has a fan following out there.
Yes, I've been getting more and more requests for this. I'm hoping it becomes like a real thing and I get like real covers. Wouldn't that be fun? I did do a variant cover for Squish and
for
Squash.
Squish and Squash, right?
Yes. So I'm hoping that, Marvel or DC goes, there's something to this crazy broad. Let's have her do a cover.
Kind of like Scotty Young.
Right.
So she's got Green Lantern 63, which is Neal's first Green Lantern
cover, yeah.
And then X-Men 59. A lot of work on that one. These are pencil, ink, and color Zia.
Yep, and hand lettered as well. Not that I think anybody could print on a sketch cover. Can't go through the copier that way.
Right.
Okay. No bites?
No bites.
No bites.
Okay. Now we showed on Friday Zia was working on one of her little canvas pieces, which is right here.
Okay, this is 8 inches by 8 inches. This is all acrylic paint, hand done by myself, Deadpool and Wolverine, and this is going for $300. And of course, instead of using real bang bang shoot 'em ups, I decided to use squirt guns because they are voodoo dolls after all, and they can't be all that dangerous.
Right. But if you look at like Wolverine's claw, those are needles.
Pins,
or pins for his claws.
Yep.
So that is the joke of Zia's pieces.
And they got their button eyes, and they're very angry at each other.
But very cute. Okay, we will move along.
Okay.
So I put this back here. Cute little piece. Okay. We will. Okay, so here is the, $1,500 Batman. So where we showed a, I think, $2,000 Batman, maybe.
Yes.
This one is $1,500. Yet it is a bust like the other one of Batman, but the line work of the other one is much different than this one. So that's what I'm saying. Everything you wrote is correct. Arbitrary, I would say no.
Never.
But, all of the things that you mentioned are all the things that we look at that go into pricing a piece. So 1,500, 8.5 by 11, Batman here. Again, very nice piece. Very classic Batman. This would color up to be a great piece. So that is our Batman. Okay, so I'm going to do one more or maybe two more pieces, and then we're going to call it a night on our side. This is Green Lantern, 8.5 by 11. Really nice piece.
Right, hold on a second. Eye of El Tigre wants to know, did Neal do the colors on the 4K Batman piece?
4K Batman. I think that's the big Batman. That's this one, right? Yeah. This is 100% all Neal.
Yeah, because that's what looks like color on that piece is actually pencil. So it's on a toned paper, which a lot of artists will, play with toned paper. It is pencil, ink, and white paint. So the tone that you see, the darker tone that you see that's between the ink and the paper, that's pencil, and that is 100% Neal. And the confetti is via Chris.
Is there confetti on it?
Yes.
Because I can't see it.
Of course there's confetti.
Because your camera on Facebook is still on Green Lantern. Sorry. That's okay. Oh, I can't see that. Fix that. So, but we did answer the question.
Yes.
Okay, so we are on Hal Jordan. I'm sorry, LIC. The blue confetti is on his face. Okay. So Ooh, the Hal Jordan is 8.5 by 11. He is 1500. Pencil and ink Neal. Color on this, we know the background is Jason. We believe the coloring of this is Neal. Mostly because of the face. So 1500 is the price on this Hal Jordan. Ford wanted to know how much for Zia's Deadpool.
Oh, the Deadpool Wolverine was 300 for. There's a lot more work in this one than the Killer Clowns and the popcorn.
Yeah. So 1500 is the price for Hal Jordan.
Oh, yay! Ford claimed it.
Yay!
Thank you, Ford.
Okay, so for those who wonder what is going on, so Ford has, this is really a really nice piece, Ford. Zia's canvas of Wolverine and Deadpool has been purchased by Ford.
Ford to the rescue. I was going to be really sad. Like when everybody was talking about how much they liked it. Thank you, Ford.
Okay, I'm going to put this up here. I'll go back this. And I'm going to put it back on the shelf behind these things.
Thanks. Yeah, he's safe up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, we're all going to finally go see Deadpool Wolverine tomorrow.
That's right. Tomorrow is Pete's birthday, Peter Stone's birthday. And Marilyn and Pete and Z and myself are going to go out in the afternoon on a work day and go see Wolverine, Deadpool.
Yay!
Thank you, Ford. Thank you, Ford. So basically that was our show for tonight, because I said I was going to end on this Hal Jordan piece. If there's a piece that somebody wants to see again,
IFL Tigre 63 says, sorry, sound lagged on my end. Did you say Neal did the colors on Green Lantern and background done by Jason?
We believe definitely the face of this is Neal.
Right, because that's a color that Dad would use.
And definitely we know the background is definitely Jason. What do you think? I'm going to show it to Zia. I have Zia look at the figure of Green Lantern.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not sure whether it's Dad or Tim Shin.
That one seems to be a mix of Jason. I mean, generally does the splatter effect backgrounds up here on all of Neal's pieces. Neal will color things that his most concern of getting right. He will color, and then we will send it out to a colorist to finish it. Just like Dead Man that I showed earlier, Neal definitely colored the skin tone of Dead Man.
Yeah, because also the mask on this, the way the mask is done, I don't think that's not all white paint on the highlights of the mask.
Yeah.
Which that makes me think some dadness.
Yeah, I think Dad did the face. I think
I'm
then
just
we
not 100%
sent
sure
it,
on the figure.
Right, we sent it out to Tim Shin probably to do the figure.
Because the base tone on the face is peach.
Yeah.
It's Prismacolor peach, which is Dad like to use for fleshes. And I don't recall seeing Tim Shin use that on fleshes, but don't quote me on that.
I will also say doing this white highlighting, only Dad would do that. So 1,500 is the piece price. For Hal Jordan.
But if you're definitely like seriously interested, we can confirm.
Yeah.
We can contact Tim to see if he had part of that and make absolutely certain so you know what you're getting.
Yeah, not a problem at all. So, okay, so if anybody wants to see anything, I will gladly show it again. If you're watching this and we're done with the show, you can always direct message us. A lot of people are picking up a lot of pieces through direct message these days. And, we're taking pictures of stuff and sending stuff. So things I will say are moving quickly. I wouldn't sit back, especially if it's like remarks on comic books and stuff like that. The payment plans are there to be used. And I think that's it for me and Z tonight, unless somebody wants to see something again, or somebody has a question that they want answered.
Everybody's kind of gone quiet. I don't know what's going on tonight.
I don't know. Maybe something else has come on TV. Or another show has gone up. That's my suspicion. So, okay, Z and I are going to say goodnight. We will be back on Friday. We usually start our shows these days on Friday at 5 o'clock. And like I said, you can always direct message us if we're not on air.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to say goodnight. Thanks again. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.